Ah, yes. A good book for anyone wanting to get into the portable wargame. Joseph Morschauser's How to Play Wargames in Miniature. A Forgotten Wargaming Pioneer, Early Wargames, Volume 3. John Curry and Bob Cordry. Yep. Edited by those guys. This is an interesting book. There's Joseph himself right there. He's another the third. I'm Herbert Christian Miller the third. But anyway, that's what I'm reading right now, and I'm really enjoying it. Getting into this book here. Let's see. I'll just go through a couple of the chapters I've read already. First of all, Chapter 1, the war game. He gets you into the hobby, basically. Chapter 2, selecting a historical period. Chapter 3, soldier types and sizes. He gets into the miniatures. And I'm right now in Chapter 4. I've read it before, but I'm rereading it because I think it'll help me. It'll help me out with my ideas about my game that I'm going to make up. Anyway, I'm here in my man cave, which is not quite just a man cave right now. It has a whole bunch of baby stuff in it. My wife and I, just this past August, had a wonderful baby girl. Pardon me, that's the beer talking. We're very, very happy about it, and looking forward to learning more about her and how she grows and stuff like that. It's going to be great. But it means that I don't get to do as much of my hobby as I want to. So it's about 11 o'clock on Sunday night, and I'm recording for you tonight. But anyway, let's talk about what we're going to talk about tonight. Okay? First of all, I would like to show you what I do in painting a hexagon, or a hexagon tile, just so you can see that. In fact, I'm going to do one part now and one part tomorrow, probably, because it has to kind of dry, so that I can do the part 2. So you can see how that works. And I'd also like to show you what I have for my paints and what I do with my painting spot and how it's a mess. I'm going to clean it up, and I'll hopefully show you that as well at some point. I want to also show you my library. So those 3 things. Let's go with the library first, and then go with other things as well. All right, let's get started, shall we? All right. Here you can see my library of wargaming books. I'm a Featherstone nut. I like Featherstone stuff, and so here I had to get this one, Featherstone's Complete Wargaming by Don Featherstone here. So, you know, this is a great old-time book, one of the best wargaming books out there. If you want to get it, it's great. You can find a copy like this. I found a great deal on this one, and I have an Amazon credit card, so I get that stuff back up there. Okay, so I get I get extra points and stuff like that. Tomorrow's War, Science Fiction and Wargaming Rules. I had an idea I'd like to do something like that, and so I bought that book, and I'm gonna go through it again. It's not that I didn't like the rules. I just need to think about it a little bit. Another Don Featherstone book, Lost Tales. Got to read that one. Read some of it, but not enough. Fighting Techniques of the Napoleonic Age. Good book, especially if you're looking for quotes and ideas on how to write rules for Napoleonic wargaming. Another John Curry book, Innovations in Wargaming Volume 1. Very interesting. I would actually like to try some of the war games that he has in here that are based on people and positions that they might have in an actual war. If I had 12 friends or something like that over, I would certainly try something like that. That'd be kind of cool. Don Featherstone's Solo Wargaming, a must-have for a guy like me. This is a great book, wonderful book. It's got some really good advice for solo wargaming in here. How do you do it, and how do you make little mechanisms to make the enemy do something that you wouldn't expect. That is a very interesting book. Good stuff. Then I've got some Philip Haythornthwaite books here, and a couple of those that I really want to get to. But here, Napoleonic Cavalry, Napoleonic Infantry, very good books, helpful stuff there. Patty Griffith's Napoleonic Wargaming for Fun, Donald Featherstone's Advanced War Games, British Napoleonic Infantry Tactics, the Osprey book, and then French Napoleonic Infantry Tactics, good books there. Charge, or How to Play War Games, Brigadier General Young and Lieutenant Colonel J.P. Lawford, good stuff there with that guy. Then, of course, the one that started it all, Little Wars by H.G. Wells. I would absolutely love to find the some kind of modern day equivalent to those guns, so that I could actually do this someday. That'd be really cool. Something like with army guys and pennies or something like that. Some of you may know that I actually did develop a game with army guys and pennies at one time. It was awesome. It was just great. But anyway, you don't need it. It's just, let's get back to the library. All right. So, Shaco 2, good stuff there. Other stuff here. Guide to Wargaming by Stuart Asquith, and the Complete War Games Handbook by James F. Dunnigan. Also, some good, helpful books. I've got more than this. I've got one book over in my office that I'm reading right now. It's the Complete War Games Handbook by none other than, what is his name? I can see his face. The guy that goes on View from the Veranda. I say, Major. No, who is that guy? Oh, the name is just not there. Well, I'll figure it out by the end of this podcast. But anyway, that's the deal. It's good stuff. I like taking that book down to the bathroom with me and, well, you know. Anyway, reading the book when I have time to read it. It's good stuff. So then over here, I have my history section of rules, or a history section of stuff. So let's check on that. All right. So up there, we got some Luther stuff. The Book of Concord. Okay, that book right there, Strategy by B.H. Liddell Hart. Just blew my mind. Great book. Got a couple other books about naval wargaming there. Gotta read those one of these days. It's good stuff. Ordinary Men. Yeah, that was alright. But then, of course, you got Naseby, Austerlitz, the Napoleonic Wars, The Battle, Waterloo, Lutzen and Bautzen, stuff like that. Russian history. Josephus. You know, gotta have that stuff. It's good stuff. You know, history of, whatchamacallit, the Eastern world. Anyway. Then down here, some other stuff, just normal history books. Robert E. Lee, that was a good book. The Civil War. Maps and Map Makers of the Civil War. Now, that was an interesting book to look through. Yeah, other more political books. Some more or less other... Oh yeah, there it is, right there. On War, Karl von Clausewitz. Interesting book. I've read it on Books on Tape, actually. Alright. So, that is pretty much my wargaming library. I love books. I love reading them when I have the time. I especially love reading books about history. And, you know, it's like my second most favorite thing to read about. Have to have a favorite thing, too. So, but anyway, that's my deal. I love that stuff. So, let's take a look then at the second thing we're going to talk about tonight. The disaster of my painting desk. Right here. Okay, let's take a look at this. Okay. Now you will see on this painting desk part of the system that I use to paint my miniatures. First of all, any painting desk needs lights. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights! Bringing light on the subject over here. Sorry to make you throw up by moving this thing around too much. But anyway, there you have it. You need light. And I also have some of the pieces that I use here to make flags and things like that. These right here are what I use for light guns, but I cut the flag and the guy off of them, and I put the other kind of guy on there. And I use the flag here to actually make brigade flags. I glue them onto the other guys after, cutting a little bit away. Anyway, that's how I do that. That's a brigade flag. And I use these right here. Some may see this as sacrilege, but I take the Twilight Imperium infantry pieces and cut the flag off. I don't know, because I never really liked Twilight Imperium 3 that much. I mean, I'll play it, don't get me wrong. And I cut the flag off for that, and I use those for the divisional flags. And Corps Commander flags, too, I suppose. So, that's how that works. And these are the generals. I don't know, I mean, it doesn't really look like a general necessarily, but it's got a big base and, kind of has a guy with a sword sticking up. Well, that's okay, Then over here, these are heavy artillery pieces, the big risk guns there. This is what the light artillery pieces look like after they've been shorn of the flag and stuff like that. That's how they'll look. Anyway, so what I do is first I mount them onto these strips of cardboard here with hot glue. And that may seem really weird. Why would you do that? Well, that way they'll stay on there. And I haven't had really good luck with regular Elmer's glue or anything like that, because what tends to happen is these things pop off with the Elmer's glue. And they'll pop off if I press hard enough here, even with the other kind of glue. But I'd like to be able to keep that guy on there for a while and stuff like that, so that I can paint him up really nice. So, all right, then what I do after that, see if I can find a good example of this. Here's a good example. I spray paint them black, okay? That's the next step. That's the primer, basically. You can see there's some divisional flags glued onto some horsemen there. These are going to be divisional flag bearers, basically. Then after I spray paint them black, I give them a dry brush of white. And what that does is those little dark areas inside there, you can see that really well there. The dark areas are going to be looking like they have shadows. See on the horse's tail there, and the lighter areas are going to look like they're in the sunlight. So it works out really well that way. And that lends for a really good contrast there when you're painting, because paint is translucent, it'll do that kind of thing. Then, of course, you just start painting. Look at that. Let's see if we can get that good there. That's pretty good. Oh, there we go. That's even better. Look, you can see the contrast on that soldier there. And then there's a little bit another one there. Hold on a second. That right there. See if I can get that better. That right there is a pretty good paint job, if I do say so myself. I mean, it certainly isn't gonna win like a Golden Demon or something like that from Games Workshop, but I'll tell you what, it's tabletop quality, and that's what I'm going for here. That's the deal. Tabletop quality, meaning you can tell what it is and it doesn't look like nothing. So I've been doing a lot of painting over here, but of course I've got a backlog of things I need to finish, projects I've started but haven't finished over there, and projects I'm starting again over here that I haven't finished yet either. So I'm painting a couple more brigades of Lilliputians. Yeah, there's a country of Lilliput in my world. Anyway, that's the painting table, and of course this needs to be cleaned off and stuff like that, but I do have a system here. I got my metallics over here, and I have whites and blacks and browns and grays and yellows and reds and oranges in there too somewhere, greens, blues, indigo violets, Roy G. Biv, stuff like that. That's kind of how it goes. And you gotta have some entertainment here. These are my iPod things that I can have my iPod, my whatchamacallit, my podcasts playing there. So that's how that works.